I'm Allie. I came out after 20 years of marriage, and I have 3 kids.
I'm Melissa, and I have 2 kids, and I came out at 37 after an 11-year marriage.
This podcast is about coming out later and the struggles and victories that come with it.
When coming out feels like the end of the world, but it's really just the beginning.
This is the Lesbian Chronicles.
This is the Lesbian Chronicles.
Oh,
we're here. I stole it. I
don't like that we don't do the full welcome. Allie, you do it.
Welcome to the Lesbian Chronicles.
Yeah,
Yay!
That sounded very professional.
It did.
Yeah.
I was trying to mimic you.
Mine's more welcome to the Lesbian Chronicles.
I know. You're a little bit more morning radio DJ.
Right.
Oh, Lord.
But yeah, our friend Allie is back.
Yes.
We're excited to have you. We had you, probably 10, 15 episodes ago, I guess.
And then we've probably asked you 5 times in between
to come back.
So
yeah, I think it was I was traveling and it was like February, I want to say, maybe late January. So it's been a couple months.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And
lots has happened.
I was going to say, can you give us an update on like kind of where you're at right now?
Ooh. Well, right now I'm good. That's why I was willing to come on. And
Today is a good
Allie
day.
knows that. Yeah, Allie knows. Like I was supposed to come on a couple weeks ago, and I just hit a real low. And I was like, I don't think anybody really wants to hear this. But it's good to talk about it.
Yeah,
so we can talk about it now that I'm out of it.
Talk about what good. Led up to the low. And then what you think got you on the upside of the low? Because I think everyone could relate to that piece.
Yeah, except it's not. I mean, it is a literal whoop-de-doo roller coaster. It is not one low and then getting out of the low, right? So it is weekly. And just for context, my partner, so I'm still married. He's dating and I'm trying to date, but my dating is not as successful as his dating, which apparently is typical. So he's currently dating a specific person consistently for 3 months. I'm trying to get out there and just make out, and it can't seem to be best. So, I don't know what do middle-aged people do? Like I just feel like a weirdo sitting in a bar by myself. So, but a year ago at this time, I wrote a card that my husband found recently, and he left it out for me. And it basically said, "Oh, I'm really hopeful. I think we're going to work things out." We'd gotten in couples therapy, and I was really like thinking this is going to work out. And it was just such a slap in the face to see that. So, like just a year ago, I was like still resisting, still thinking, "Oh, okay, if he just does this, if I just do this, we'll work it out." And now I'm visiting my cousin again in DC, and she reminded me that when I was here about a year ago with my family, I brought them to kind of, include them in my place where I have my community. And she reminded me, I said, I was really optimistic. We were going to work things out, that maybe I could power through and just like we could find a way to stay together.
That is so common.
And I had blocked
100%.
all that out.
Yeah, that is so common. Melissa and I can attest, like in group, there were lots of people who started out that way, including us.
Yeah, like I remember going into group, that was a way for me to kind of like feel it out. And deep in my soul, I thought like this will be the way that I can kind of be out and talk about what I'm going through and find a compromise. Like,
yes.
And we did couples therapy too, as well.
Same reason.
Same reason. It's like, we'll figure this out.
Of course.
We feel like there's a solution there,
And maybe there is for some people.
Yeah. And there is. And he was open to exploring different kinds of ways our marriage could look. And we were planning, like, we don't have to change anything and we can just kind of maybe have separate zones of the house, but stay together. And everybody I was talking to, all my friends were like, you need to find your own place. Like every single one is like, this is not going to work. And I was like, no, I think we can do it.
We're different.
But yeah.
We'll be the exception.
Yeah.
But you know what?
Yeah.
Like, you have to do that. I feel like you have to like explore that avenue, because if you don't explore that avenue, years from now you're going to look back and be like, well, why didn't we try that?
Did we do everything we possibly could have?
Yeah. Like,
yeah.
It's a reassurance.
Yeah. And I have friends that said that they, in fact, everyone, including, I think you guys have said, take it slow.
Take it slow.
Like if you could have done anything differently, take it slower, give your partner a chance to kind of catch up. And that was definitely, I mean, I gave him time to catch up. Like fall, he was like, when we finally said we're separating, meaning we're no longer intimate, he was a mess all of fall. Like I felt so much guilt that I had created so much pain for him, but I had been feeling miserable for so long. So, we were both feeling miserable, but I was feeling a little bit hopeful.
Yeah.
And that was kind of where we were at. I think when I talked to you last time was like, okay, now he's dating. So that seems to help alleviate a little guilt. But now he's doing great.
Damn it! I know. Wait, what? Not too good. Good, but not too good.
Yeah, it is good. It is good. And I will say to anyone whose partner has moved on, it is good. I understand it's textbook, right? He's moved on immediately, found somebody that works out really very comfortable for him, and they've got a good thing going. And I got to remind myself, even though it hurts, it just hurts because it was so easy to move on, right?
That's how I feel.
But in the big scheme, it's good because it's not good if he's miserable and then I feel guilty. Mm-hmm. And it's not good if he's continually trying to get me to, if he gets a safe landing place, I might go back because it's hard.
Yeah. He's doing you a favor because he's giving you space now to fully, because he's focused on this new thing. But I think I would have said this to Melissa too, because she had the same issue, is that they're not really, 3 months in, 4 months in, even 6 months in is not yet moving on. It's a honeymoon fun distraction that maybe will turn into a long-term thing. And hopefully it will. Yeah. But the truth is, I mean, my ex-husband went through lots of those 3 month, 4 month, 6 month, really exciting for him things that didn't end up being the person. Not to say it won't be, maybe it will be. But I guess what I'm saying is they don't move on that easily. I think they're just easily distracted in a way that we aren't. We dive in. Like Chris wasn't dating some woman asking all the questions. I would be dating and be like, I don't know, is this good enough? Am I selling out? He didn't do any of that. He was just out having a great time and eating a great dinner and hopefully getting laid. Truly. That was his brain. Yeah. And that was enough for him.
Some men though too, they really want that comfort of a partner.
Right.
And and that's the fear of losing you, is that they're losing the comfort, right? Yeah. And the safety, whatever. And it's kind of easy for them to adapt to just another person who's also easygoing, you know, and kind of has that same wavelength. Right. And I think that's what my ex found. He found someone that was in a similar position. She'd also just gotten out of a marriage. She was looking for safety and security and comfort, and they gave that to each other. Yeah. And it works. And it still works 4 years later.
Right.
So, and it is nice because it does alleviate that guilt, right? You've probably felt a little lighter in that sense since he's been dating.
Yeah.
So talk about, then you felt good, but then you go into the low.
I felt good. And then I think so there's been 2 lows since I've been living on my own, basically. I've been on a sabbatical, let's say, for 4 weeks. This was a gift to myself that my partner supported. And so I've been living in a city environment to try to find myself and not be in my small town where I feel like I can't explore who I am. So the first week, at first it was great. I was I was just so excited to be in a city where nobody knew me, where I could just kind of live more freely and not worry about looking over my shoulder and seeing someone I knew. And then I went to see a play, a musical theater show. And I love musical theater. And I went to see the show by myself, which is fine. Love that. It wrecked me. This was one of those really moving shows. I'll just tell you, it's the Alanis Morissette Jagged Little Pill. Mm-hmm. It's based on her music, but there are so many things. There was a couple that's becoming estranged, a woman that's using substances to numb her pain. She gets into the hospital and the guy comes back and that's how they reconnect. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, who's going to be there for me? Yeah, right. If I get sick and, am I going to have someone at the hospital? The daughter and the mother relationship are estranged. And there's a sexual assault when a girl is drunk at a party, which happened to me. So like all of these things that like were triggers,
Yeah.
I was like dripping in emotional trauma at the end of the show.
Yeah.
And I had a date set up and it canceled. It got canceled. And so I was by myself crying on the streets of the city.
This is like,
looking for someone to, and I called friends and I did all the things I should have done. But I was just in such a dark place after that because it brought up so many fears.
Right, of course.
I'm going to be alone. I'm going to not have my person if I get sick. I'm always going to feel alone and separated.
Layered with the excitement of a date that canceled.
Yeah, I mean, that getting canceled on, I got canceled on once, and it wrecked the fuck out of me.
I'm like, I remember you telling me, and I'm like,
it was like the domino that like got pushed and resulted in so many other things happening. Like, it was.
It's upsetting.
I think it was completely legit, and we've had our date since then, and it's all fine. And it was just bad timing.
Yeah,
it was just bad timing. For both of us. Like we've talked since then. We were both having bad days, and we just couldn't be there for each other, which was a bummer. But so that was really bad. But I came out of that low. Just talking to friends. I didn't try to date that first weekend because I knew I wasn't good for anybody. I was just too like emotionally raw. Like I didn't want to go out and drink and have fun. I just needed to like,
well, that's good to like recognize that too, because I know that like there was times when I was trying to date people and it's like, no, I wasn't ready yet. Like I was in a really shitty space for a while. Like, and it does come off like on your dates, you know, it'll like come to the surface. So it's just not, I mean,
you can't engage. You're not interested in asking questions because you're just like not into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And extra emotional.
Yeah. And it doesn't feel fair to like I'm still lost in all this stuff about my past. I can't really move forward.
Right.
And I don't want to put all that on somebody that just met me either.
Right.
Like,
no. Like you're going to fix me.
Wow, you feel emotions really strongly.
Right.
Yes, I do. So I came out of it, and then the next week was fine. And then I went home to to see my kids and everything. And my partner went to see his girlfriend. Okay, so that's all fine. That was fine. Came back, did it again. Came back for Easter weekend. Right? So Easter, big holiday in the Christian faith. And for the first time, probably in our 20-year marriage, we were not together on Easter morning. Because he was with his girlfriend.
Yeah. Ooh.
And so I was home, and that was fine. I chose to be home, but it was weird. Like we were getting texts from our family, like with pictures of the Easter baskets and Happy Easter, and I
the Lord is risen.
The Lord is risen.
The Lord is risen.
He's here again.
Yeah.
That's what people kept sending me.
And he brought a bunny. I don't know how that fucking makes sense.
Lots of chocolate, bunny and chocolate. Yeah, so I'm trying to make things normal. Like we had some candy. Thank goodness my mother-in-law sent candy because that was the only reason our kids had candy. Not that they have to, but you know,
it's a thing. It's a tradition,
and it's a thing.
It's a thing.
And I made hard-boiled eggs so that we could decorate eggs. And just note, my kids are 13 and 17.
Yeah, exactly.
So
we were just like,
I was just trying to like be normal. What's up?
How old are the kids?
13 and 17.
Okay.
So this was just for fun. Like they're old enough that they kind of feel nostalgia about it.
Yeah, my big kids do it every year.
But even so, like he wasn't there. You were there with the kids, and he wasn't there.
Yeah,
like
he wasn't there, which was agreed upon.
Yeah,
but it was weird.
It's still weird.
Right?
I totally get that.
And then his girlfriend's gonna drop him off so we can all have Easter dinner together. Right. So that was the arrangement. The compromise was we'd all have Easter dinner together later that afternoon.
With her, or she wasn't planning? She wasn't staying.
No.
She was just going to drop and run.
Right. But I forgot to mention that on the way picking him up to take him for Easter weekend, she met my kids, which was not a part of the plan. It was a surprise, a little bit of an accident. They just happened to run into each other in the driveway.
Oh, wow.
Oh boy.
So, and it's interesting because neither of my kids mentioned it to me.
Oh boy.
So I think they just know to stay out of it.
Yeah.
But so on the way back, I was like, all right, I just need to rip off this Band-Aid. Like, And I had friends that were like, girl, you are thinking of her as way better than she really is. Like, she's a human, just meet her, get it over with. And I was like, yeah, that's fair. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to meet her. I didn't tell them ahead of time that I wanted to meet them because I knew then they would start talking about how to meet me. Right. And so I just like got myself ready. I called my best friend and she came over. Always good to bring in your best friend to this situation. I said, can you come over and let's go for a walk? And then we'll meet them like as we're going out for the walk.
Yeah, like hey, oh wait,
hey,
what
going
are you doing here?
Hi, surprise! Yeah, exactly. So didn't exactly go to plan, but I did meet her, and but before that happened, I had a total anxiety attack, like panic attack to the max. Like, and I don't have those very often, but like the walls closing in, white lights in front of my eyes.
Literally physically having a panic attack.
Literal panic attack. Like, I had
your
to take
friend
a
is there.
Like, this is before she came over.
Before she got there. Okay. So you're alone with your panic attack. Oh boy. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I know how to do meditation and breathing, but it was not working.
No.
And I don't know what I was afraid of except the unknown. Right.
She's way more scared of you than you are. Like, I think it's way more intimidating for her because you own the space. I mean, these are your kids, your husband times multiple years.
Yeah.
Okay. So you walk out.
That's the rational voice.
That's the rational thoughts, not the reality of the
rational
thoughts.
Voice. But I calm myself down enough to meet her. And then my friend and I took a walk, and that is wonderful. It's kind of like going to the doctor and you're really nervous about the diagnosis and you need your friend to go with you to like hear what's actually being said because you're going to black out.
Yeah, totally.
That appointment, you know?
Right.
That was like smart.
That was smart. But tell us like what? So you walk up, it's awkward as hell. Do you hug? Do you shake hands? What did it look like?
We shook hands. I walked up to the side, so just getting out of the car, and I walk up to the side door, and I don't know which of us stuck our hand out first, but I got a very firm handshake.
And then where's your husband at this point?
Yeah, so he's standing at like the front of the car. So we're like right next to each other, and both my husband and my best friend are like behind us.
And you've kind of ambushed him.
Well, I asked him as he actually arrived without her she dropped him off and left. And I was like, wait, I'm ready to meet her. So he called her back.
Oh, God, her heart was like,
she's like, you want to do what?
She's like, I almost got out of here.
Right?
Yeah. But so she came back and that was good. But I didn't see signs of her being nervous. My friend said she maybe was her hands might have been shaking a little bit. But I'm sure it wasn't and we had exchanged an email about just saying, hey, I know you exist. Mm-hmm. I'm so-and-so. Nice to meet you. But I did feel a little okay. When this first ended and we went for our walk, I started having all those doubts again. Oh my God, what am I doing? I just want to go back to safety. Can we call this whole thing off? Yeah. Is it too late?
Yeah. How much do you like her? Yeah.
And I forgot to mention a key detail. So right before we went for our walk, she asked my husband, oh, since I came back, do you think you could fix the Google Maps is like two of the maps are talking at the same time, or like there was some technological problem in her car. Can you please take a look at it? To my husband.
Oh boy.
And at first I was like, oh great, that gives me an out. Like, okay, well, we're gonna take our walk. See ya, right? And then as I'm leaving, I'm like, wow, that was kind of like claiming him, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe subconsciously. Maybe subconsciously.
It's like, now she's
I don't
doing
mean it
stuff.
in a mean way.
No.
She's just like, oh, you're technologically savvy. You can help me out. And he's like, oh, of course, because he loves to,
save the day.
Yeah.
I could see that. Or it could also be just like an awkward, now I need to have something to say, and he's a safe person standing here to talk to, and I can say this.
Yeah. Could be both.
I do that a lot.
Well,
like if I'm like in a social situation that I'm anxious about, And I know I've got like if I'm here and like you're the person I know the best, I might like make up some quick thing that I need from you.
Let's review what we were talking about before, because we're tight. We know each other.
Because I'm tight.
We've met before.
We've met before. I can just get my eyes on Melissa, and I don't have to like really do the thing.
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay.
So I'm trying not to overthink it, but it definitely. I think that's part of what unconsciously for me as well made me go, oh, I'm going to lose that person that's Mr. Save the Day and fix it, right? Like, so talking to my friend was really helpful, but I also kind of went down the dark path of like, can I go back? And at the end of the walk, she said, I've watched this whole process and you're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
You are like, you know what path you need to be on and you don't need to go back. And it's just hard. Mm-hmm. And that was very true.
Yeah, it's like you just have to go through it.
It is hard. And like I think that's just like a natural instinct that you're experiencing, like to because that is your person, that's been your person for all this time, and it's like that's what you're used to doing.
Every time something's hard, whether it's having babies or
reverse it, Yeah.
And
then to see someone getting that help from him that you used to get, it's like instinctual to like claim your territory,
Yeah. And I think I've talked to other friends that are like, I also shouldn't assume anything about their relationship.
That's my point. Like it's so early.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. And I was kind of catastrophizing, like, that's it. That's it.
He's already married. Yeah, exactly. I'm raising them a single mother now.
She's going to be a stepmom to my children.
Exactly.
Yeah. I had already gone there in my head, so I had to reel that all back in. So it happened. I think there's just the end is we did it. The Band-Aid got pulled off. Like the Band-Aid on that pain of like, I don't want to look and see how bad the wound is, got pulled off.
Yeah.
We saw it, we moved on, and now hopefully it can heal better.
Yeah. And it can.
Talk a little bit about what it's been like for you. Like you said, you've been trying to like get out there and date a little bit.
That's what
has
really
that been
know.
like?
Right.
Yeah. So when I came back, I was in a little bit of a low, but then it's been okay. I think I've also adjusted my expectations. Like I told you last time I got on Match, and I don't really think Match is the right place for me. Like I didn't feel comfortable getting on Tinder, but I mean, really, I'm not really looking for my life partner just quite yet. Like I need confirmatory evidence. I need just to have fun. I'm definitely going through a second puberty, like I need to just see what that's like. And I feel like Match is not helping me in that regard. Mm-hmm. Or maybe I'm telling too much. Like I told you last time, I put a lot of information on there. And so maybe I'm seeming too ready for something serious, but I'm really not. I don't know. It's not yielding dates.
Yeah.
Are you in the midst of like texting with people or like having messaging of someone you're interested in that it's like you're excited to check your phone? Are you at that stage yet?
No, and what I instead is just I'm putting myself into the gay community as a person in the gay community.
Yeah.
So one of the first things I did was I made sure that I got here in time for a meetup.
Yeah.
One of the lesbian meetups. And that's a great resource to make sure people know about. Like you can just Google meetups and then you can choose your category for your city, and being in the city, I could do that. Right.
But wait,
so
is
like
it just gay?
Ones.
Is it like just gay, or would it be like gay runners, gay yoga, gay? Okay, so they have something in common with you other than just being gay.
Well, some of them do, some of them don't.
Okay,
so like I joined ones that were specific to lesbians over 40, or ones that were dynamic, like fit people, or So there's usually there's hiking ones. There's ones that are like game nights.
Oh, that's
fun. Oh, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So when you go to those, is it like is it single people mostly, or couples, or both?
So I only got to go to one.
Oh.
I think because of Easter weekend happening, like it just, there was only one that I was in town for. And it ended up being, I think it was mostly a group of people that clearly had organized this and done this a lot of times. And they were kind of like the cool kids.
Yeah.
But then there was like a group of us that were all new to the area or new to the group. And so we kind of all hung out together, and I do want to say I also appreciate that my being a little bit older than most of them doesn't seem to be a thing. Like it's a thing to me in my head more than it is to anybody else.
Yeah, cool.
I absolutely agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that is something that we get in our heads about, but then it's like at the end of the day, most people aren't really asking how old you are anyway.
No.
Or realizing age or like as long as someone's like over 30, I feel like for the most part you're going to have like a good
So
conversation.
if they're over 30, they're fair game.
Not fair game necessarily to date, but to be friends with.
Yeah, of
I
course.
think.
Yeah.
Like
right. And that's been my community here through my cousin is people that are late 30s or early 40s. So I did meet one person that we started talking about. I think she shared something, and then I shared something, and we found out we both had some mental health awareness, similar interests. And just her being willing to share that. And then I found out she lived in the area. And so we've ended up hanging out a bit.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And made it, I think we both kind of made it clear that neither of us was looking for a relationship. And so we could just be
friends,
open and honest with each other. Like we never labeled it. It was just like, hey, I need someone to go to a museum with, want to go? And
yeah,
I love that.
I do too.
Last night, she's like, I'm going to open mic night at the Lesbian bar. And I was like, oh my God, can I totally tag along? It's okay if not.
I want to
like,
go.
Yeah.
So then it was
great.
Is it clear she's your friend, or is it like there's not even a discussion about it? Like you're not kissing her at the end of the night. Could you be meeting women while you're out with her?
Maybe. I didn't.
Yeah.
I think I'm still figuring out how to do this.
Right.
That part is hard.
Like,
that is hard for sure.
Yeah.
Like I know I've said this before, but like for me, when I was straight, approaching a man, no big fucking deal. Like,
no
okay,
problem.
I could do it all day, every day. Approaching a woman is terrifying. Like, it is so
why is that?
scary. Because now we give a shit. Like,
yes.
like you care whether or not they're gonna like be interested in you.
Yeah.
With a man, I was kind of like take it or leave it,
It's
like
true.
whatever. But I don't know.
But it's like even if they're not interested, I know we've had this conversation, and it's much easier said than done. But even if they're not interested, nobody's going to be a total jerk. And if they are, like, what a loser
but
they
are. They can be mean.
But
I've
if
had
they're
people be mean to me.
but it's like I don't know why it doesn't scare me more. It probably should, but I think. Like, to me, it's like if I walk up to you and I'm kind of flirting with you and you're shutting me down in a mean way, you're a loser.
I mean, that's true. I don't want you anyway. But still, it doesn't mean your feelings don't get a little hurt.
No, but it's almost like I could feel myself coming back to you guys at my table and being like, oh my God, that girl
was a total asshole.
Exactly. Like, she should be flattered.
I did have that experience, actually. That just reminded me at that night. There was one lesbian who was like dancing. I was like, "Oh, I like how you dance." And then she came up to me later and tried to dance.
This is the night at the Roxbury situation.
And she ends up grabbing my hand and turning it over and kissing the top of my hand.
What a weirdo!
I've
like
done
a chivalrous.
Okay,
You've done that.
It went over very well, though. Thank you.
Okay, wait, what?
I was just like, okay, if a guy did that to me, I would be similarly like, what is that?
That's like zero game.
No, and it was
Be here.
unfortunate.
And
so you didn't.
Unfortunate.
It was unfortunate when this occurred.
Were you into it before the hand kissing?
I mean, the dancing was fun. I love to dance. So anyone that wants to dance, I'm down with dancing. Let's dance. But I mean, the kiss made it clear there was interest, and I was like, oh no, that's not where this is going.
Oh,
like I was not interested, let's say. So that maybe if I was attracted to her, maybe it
I was going to say, can we switch
response.
things up and say, like, if you were attracted to a woman and she did that, would you be getting the ick with it, or would you be interested?
You know what? Touch my arm, touch my neck, touch my hair. But kiss
I was going to say, when I
hand.
did this, though, I had already kissed the woman.
You were drunk.
It wasn't, and I was
Okay.
drunk.
You were drunk.
And then she called me Rico Suave.
Exactly.
Yes. Yes.
Exactly.
And she was like, you just came out? Like, how is it that you're doing this? And I was like, I don't know who I am right now.
You're Rico Suave.
Yeah, Melissa, I totally hear that, Melissa, because I find that when I'm talking to some women, I am completely the one in charge, right? I'm the Rico, so I'm like, oh, come here and let me pull out the chair. And
Right.
And with others, I'm just like totally scared, and like I don't know what to do.
Yes.
Like, I don't know what I'm doing, and I don't know if that's because it's like that top bottom thing, like, and you just kind of switch to like meld, and I don't know, so I'm just kind of responding what seems right, or if it's like I'm more scared than
some women. Just make me
know.
nervous. Like Marina made me nervous. Like the first time we met, I was like, like I don't know. Like
See, that's
she like barely touched my knee,
that,
and I was like, oh God, like what does that mean?
Right. If you're scared, does that mean run away, or does that mean
no?
Stay with that?
That means kiss her
Right?
hand.
Say I did not kiss Marina's hand.
That means kiss her hand. What kind of woman makes you pull out the chair, and what kind of woman makes you not know what to do?
I would say it's a vibe, right? Wouldn't you
It's
agree?
a vibe.
So it's not like a more
chemistry
masculine
thing.
woman. You turn into like a demure. Like,
No, it's not. No, it's not. So I can think of one person who made me super nervous, like just talking to her. I like could feel myself talking really fast and like,
oh yeah, I do that.
and saying, I don't know what I'm doing. And then, and she's very feminine. She's actually bi. She's very feminine. And then my friend is much more, androgynous. And I don't think it's also, there was another woman that was more feminine that I did kind of take the more masculine role with.
I can't even picture you
But
taking the masculine.
I can't either.
Let me get your chair.
Right?
Can you picture Allie doing
No.
that?
But it's in there. I think it's in there.
I think it's in there too.
Also,
It's an insult.
right,
I just can't picture it. Maybe it's I don't know why. I can't picture me doing it
you
either.
gotta picture me in like a graphic tee.
I was gonna say, right
And
now
I've
you're
got
wearing a blouse,
long jeans on and like Pumas, and then I'm like,
and
you
then
know,
she's leaning back in the chair right now.
Just
She's
lay
in
back.
a lesbian
Okay, she's
lane.
like Melissa when I met her at group.
Right?
You were so slung back. I was like,
it is. It's such a masculine thing to take up more space.
it
is,
So
right?
the weight, your body posture, and just laying out there, and like your legs are sprawled out, you know.
Mhm.
So I was dressed like that to go to the lesbian bar, and then I hung out with a straight friend of mine after that, and she looked at me and she's like, "You look different."
Oh,
She like
I like
the
it.
way I was sitting, she was just like, "You look like a dude. Like, what are you doing?" Like in a good way. Like she didn't mean it in a bad way. She's like, "You're rocking a dude vibe."
I was gonna
here."
say a dude
Like,
is in
okay.
I am confident in myself right now.
Right.
Okay, I'll
Yeah.
take it.
Yeah, that was a little gendered.
no, it's okay. No,
Yeah. But it's all like trying it on and seeing, like, I don't want it to be too easy, but I want it to feel natural.
Mhm.
Like if it's too easy, then it might be safe. And it's not actually making me excited. Like Melissa, you said with Marina, like you want to feel that.
Yeah, you want to feel excited and like a
Feel,
little
right?
bit like there's something to lose there. I don't know.
yeah, like
you
there's
know?
something to lose. We talked about on one of our episodes. It's like Goldilocks. At least like everyone I know who comes out has like at least 3, obviously way more experiences. But
yeah,
it's like the first
yeah.
one is wild, catalyst, aggressive, like totally the opposite of your life. Then the next one is like too nice and too giving you everything you want in a way that's like, it's not a turnoff, but it's just like, I need something more challenging than this. And then the last one is the somewhere in the middle, challenges you right and not
Threatening.
not threatening. Yeah.
I remember that. Was that on the Mom Guilt episode?
Oh my
that you
God.
just
Why
listened
did you
to?
make me go back and listen to that? Because now I have sick anxiety. Who were we back then?
Who were we back then? Oh my
It.
God, I still
had
haven't listened to
missed
it.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
it's so good. It's so
You don't
good.
want
It is
to.
really
I don't
long,
want
but
to. Okay.
You don't
it
want
so
to.
goes off the rails.
It goes off the
I mean,
rails in like a nasty way. That's not even who I am.
No, it's
But
not
it is.
nasty. It was just, it was
we are.
explicit, but it wasn't nasty. You could have made it 2 episodes and called the second episode the sex talk.
The
or
sex
something
Yeah,
talk. I
like
know,
that.
right?
Should've.
We should've
That was
split
before
it.
we had any skills. Actually, no.
We had Alyssa at that time.
Damn it.
Yeah, it
So
was a good one. Anyway, yes. So that, I hope I haven't already gone through 2 of my 3 because I'm not ready to be done yet.
no.
Well, there's also, it can be like 3 categories that might be 2 women per category. It's just, in my
Well,
experience.
and I was
it's
gonna say
really-
too. It's like I feel like I went through
Yeah,
as
Melissa
far
had lots of women in her categories.
well, as far as like I couldn't quite pinpoint who I was attracted to because I kind of like felt attraction to both like feminine and masculine women. Then I couldn't figure out where I landed as far as like, what am I? Am I a femme lesbian, or am I like a masculine lesbian, or like somewhere in between, you know? And that took a minute to kind of like sort out.
Yeah, you're androgynous.
So yeah, like but when I first came
what did you
out,
decide?
it was very much like femme, but now, yeah, like I'm mistaken for a little boy. So obviously
It's true.
I'm androgynous.
Yeah, you're not wearing a hat today.
No, but my hair is also like wet, so I was in a hurry.
What do you think you're attracted to right now, today?
I mean, I think I would have said feminine for sure, but I don't know. Like, I don't think I want to limit myself, and I don't think that's necessarily true.
At first, I remember thinking that, like in group, and my friend Milena, who's been on the show, she and I both thought we wanted like this feminine situation, and then it's like I don't know, it does kind of morph.
Yeah, I think that it is morphing, and I have noticed. I mean, I have been attracted to, I was attracted to one person who was non-binary, who identified as non-binary. And then I'm friends with a woman who looks a lot like me, and her partner is very more butch and who identifies as a woman, but has also explored other gender identities. And I can see that relationship being great, like working. Yeah. So I think it's kind of like how I'm textbook, like I started off saying, oh, I'm bisexual, right? That's what the married women have to do. Like gateway. You start saying I'm bi because that accommodates your husband.
Gateway.
And then you realize, okay, nope, yep, gateway. And then now I'm doing the textbook of, I want to start with someone that's like me. Yeah. That feels easy, right? But then maybe that's not it either, right? I don't know.
Maybe it really is the person.
I think it is the person, because I kind of dated both.
Yeah.
And then like Marina is femme, but then at the same time, she has a very strong personality. So
yeah,
I mean, I wouldn't say masculine personality by any means, but she's definitely like a strong human.
Yeah, for sure.
So she's fixing shit.
Well, and I have both.
I'm not.
Both the strong, assertive, and the emotional. Clearly, I've just mentioned both of those.
Yeah. On this episode. I would say that's true for me too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. For sure.
It's hard. And then, but I do think it will morph. And sometimes like I'll meet someone that like isn't categorically who anybody would think is attractive, but I'll have a conversation with them and I'm like fascinated and attracted to them.
Yeah.
So I do think like it does shift a bit.
So I haven't figured out yet how to just even start those conversations. And I'm sure that's partially my own fear. And I'm really bummed because I'm like leaving this town that has this lesbian bar, and I haven't struck up a conversation with anyone. And when I go back to my little town, I just don't even know where to go to start up these conversations.
Yeah. But wait, do you get to go back to your little place, or is the 4 weeks over?
The 4 weeks is over.
Okay.
Oh no.
But that's okay.
So
like,
I'm going back.
Could you go back anyway, like when you have a break?
Yeah, I can come back here. But I'm also starting to be more open in my town and finding there is community there and people that I've come out to. Like every time, I said this last time, every time I come out to someone else, I just feel better.
Yeah.
I feel more real.
Yeah.
I build a new relationship that wouldn't have otherwise been there. That's a real relationship. Anytime I'm traveling, like I'm giving talks and stuff for work, and anytime I'm giving a talk, I make sure at least one person where I'm going knows me, knows what I'm currently in transition doing. And that makes me feel more seen and real. So I'm building new relationships constantly. It's just not maybe the kind that end up with a makeout session.
or it does, like maybe, I mean, there's so many opportunities for someone like you more than other people because you are traveling to other cities and meeting all new people in different scenarios.
And I like that goal, though.
But how?
Like saying like to at least one person about what you're doing right now. Like that's awesome. Like that's just, it's a small thing, but it's a big thing.
Yeah. Here's how, I mean, it's random. Like how I met my catalyst is I was my son was working a job, he's an actor, and I was with him as his mother, like there, and the producer walks up and I'm instantly like, oh my God, I was so attracted to her, and she's gay. And then next thing you know, we're like having this great conversation, having dinner. And that turned into
So you knew she was gay already?
I knew I met her right. I mean, it was like immediately when I met her, I could tell she was gay. And then as that
So
day progressed,
your gaydar told you.
my gaydar was going off, and then we're like flirting, and like and I'm married. Like I'm not even thinking about. I knew I was gay, but I wasn't even considering her. But it was like so compelling in that meeting, and that was a random meeting, yeah, stroke of luck, or like it ended up being
divine
misery,
intervention,
or
you know,
like ended up being misery.
Okay, but it kicked you out the nest.
It did kick me out of the nest.
Right. Yeah, I think part of being in a small town and having the safety of the heterosexual relationship is you end up only really hanging out with the people you've already gotten to know, and you don't push yourself out of the nest. You don't have reason to go make new friendships. There's not a lot of opportunity unless you create them.
But what if it's not? What if it's not meeting? Like, okay, so you give the talk, so you're already kind of the badass in the room. Then you're done with the talk and you're walking out. Like, do you have a Q&A, or is there like an opportunity for people to talk to you after? Like, it seems like there would be such a sea of people that if you meet 52 at least are gay.
Yeah.
This is what I'm picturing. This may not be what happens.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
I mean, also keep in mind, so I'm telling one person with the hope that maybe they're like, oh, I know somebody that you should meet.
Or just, right?
Or
just you're walking around the room and having that moment of
who's here?
The catalyst moment I had.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times it's I mean, a lot of these might be kind of young, like students.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So that's not maybe so cool.
Yeah. Or it could be really cool.
I mean, it could be story-wise, but legally.
No, I wouldn't like, she doesn't mean that yet.
Ethically, it might be.
They're probably grad students at least.
Yeah, I guess we're not talking high school students, so maybe not the legality of it all, but ethically.
No. But I do have options when I get back. I mean, I know there's events coming up for Pride Month that I'll try to just show up for.
Yeah.
Because that's one way of like letting people know. I mean, I hope I'm already known as an ally. Mm-hmm. So they might just assume that's why I'm there. So I'll have to be a little bit more
maybe we
explicit.
need to come up with a bold t-shirt for you to wear.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I have one that says, sounds gay, I'm in.
Sounds gay, I'm in. Yeah. Can you get her that? She needs that.
No one knows I'm a lesbian.
pretty overt.
Who are you going to Pride stuff with?
So I made friends with this couple that I mentioned before, and they have taken it upon themselves to make my life more gay. So
okay, good.
They're like, I got a text from them the other night. It was so cute. They were like, "So, is 28 too young?" And I'm like, "For what?"
Yeah,
like, it depends. She's like, "Oh, fair question. Okay." And then they come back a little bit later and like send me a picture. Like, what do you think of her? You know? It's
my God.
They are working hard for me.
Yeah, nice. I love that.
And I'm like, okay, 28, do they own their house? Or like, do they have a job? Can they pay their bills? Do they own a car?
But that's because if you're looking for a relationship.
That's true. If we're looking for experience, 28's fine.
What would you like? I think this is a platform that, I mean, if you really community, I know we're not looking for a relationship necessarily, but I mean, Allie's got it going on. You're attractive, you're fit, you're smart as hell. To me, that's the trifecta. Who would you be interested? And I know you don't want to say where you live, but maybe people could,
if they want to DM us, and we can just see if.
So I've met somebody who likes to go to musical theater. So we tried to go to musical theater together, and there just was no chemistry there. So,
but the thing. Like, it's not going to happen with everybody.
There's
a reason why you don't realize you're gay until later, and it's because you don't connect with just anyone.
It's true.
Right.
I mean, it's tough.
Well, and apparently that whole. I mean, I'm reading all these books and trying to get more familiar with the culture so that I can speak knowledgeably and not be like, oh, what's that? What's ethical non
what is
like, I want to know what yeah, exactly. Thank God for current TV and so on. Like, there are so many great shows right now that, like, Sex Education as a TV show, like, was really helpful.
Yeah.
Oh, and are you guys watching Ted Lasso?
Of course,
I
for sure.
watched the first few episodes, but
It's not. I missed the first season, but I still.
I stopped paying for Apple TV. Let's be real.
Oh, okay. Wow, really?
The most recent, like there's new development.
Is there some gay shit
I'll
happening?
keep walking. Oh, don't tell me. Yeah.
Okay, well maybe I'll pay for
It's
Apple
pretty-
TV.
Let me also, since you're newly out, I'm going to give you a show to start, and you can binge. Like, it is so good. But I was hot for the girl in the show. Like, I think that was my true first catalyst.
What show?
Before my catalyst, but Wentworth.
Oh, Wentworth. Yeah.
Okay, watch Wentworth. Frankie was, and I've learned since that our friend Megan, she's like, oh my God, she was mine too.
Oh, really?
Like, we both had this thing for her.
Oh, that's funny.
Wentworth, start at the beginning, but Frankie, I mean, I would literally, I was glued to it. I would rewatch scenes. I would go find fan fiction and like watch her. Like, I was just like, oh my God.
Is she gay in real life?
She never, like, I Google her, I have no idea.
Then maybe she is.
Yeah.
I feel like if they don't list a husband on Wikipedia,
there's no husband
there's
listed
a chance.
that I've seen, but it's been a minute since I did my deep dives on her.
Ooh, maybe it's time.
Yeah, maybe it's time to go back. But yeah, so
I'm doing it more through words, like books and stuff. Like I told you, I just found that new book, or that book that's from 2010. Dear John, I Love Jane.
Yeah, yeah. Melissa and I did that one.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's really helpful to like read and go, okay, yep, check.
Yeah.
Yep, all those things.
Okay,
I can relate to all that.
To meeting someone, are you open to someone attempting to contact you from this?
I mean, sure. So it's gotta love musical theater and dancing and food and experiences and just getting out in the world. And I think that's what I felt like I got kind of, I don't want to say dead, but like numb.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't doing the things that brought me joy for so long. And those are things that really, like, they're best enjoyed with other people, right?
Yeah.
The cultural things, like going to museums and artistic stuff. Oh God, if a woman can play the guitar, and sing, like, so sexy.
Boy, she does. She's got a big wish list.
I know,
here,
right?
Melissa.
She wants
I know.
The guitar.
a little bit of Taylor Swift.
She wants exactly. She wants to be serenaded.
I mean,
on vacation.
everybody's waiting on the edge of their seats to see if Taylor Swift ever does come out, because there's like rumors everywhere.
Really?
Yeah, like it's a whole like fan theory that she's gay. And I saw a video of her recently though, where she's walking backstage at one of her concerts. It is the gayest walk ever.
Well,
She's got on like Timberlands. I don't know, like the whole thing. She looks so gay, and I'm like, that was like the video that made me buy into it. Like maybe.
Well, she does have that song that's
or at
got
least
the gay innuendo.
Yeah, she has a lot of like lavender haze or whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
I love Taylor. I'm going to see her soon.
We'll see. Are you?
I'm enjoying watching like Emma Stone and those little clips that Emma Stone and Katniss.
Jennifer Lawrence.
What they do together.
Jennifer Lawrence has a gay vibe, I feel like.
Gay vibe.
Oh, she's hot. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's interesting.
But
though, that
really
you're,
smart.
Yeah.
That's also
But you're doing things that interest you now that you weren't doing previously.
Yeah.
Like,
so I feel more alive. Like I have more to give because I'm doing things that I enjoy, and if I can have people that do them with me, that's great. Like if we don't make out, that's okay too. I just want people to want to do these things.
Yeah, and to be in a gay community to do them with. Like that was our group. We were none of us were going to be together. We were more just wanting to spend time together to talk and
do
grow
gay shit.
and do gay shit. Exactly.
Well, going to this open mic night, I think that was the first time. So this is the lesbian bar that I was terrified to walk into. Yeah. And I told you about this the first episode. So I've really come a long way.
Right.
Like if for the listeners that don't maybe remember my full story, I was not welcome in lesbian spaces. Like I tried to join like the lesbian choir and stuff, right? And I was seen as the straight girl and kind of ostracized. So I walked into this lesbian bar with my straight friends and walked out and told my therapist, that's it, I'm done, right? Yeah. I'm good now, right? And so that's the bar that I keep coming back to. That's where I met the one woman I've been with. Like, that's where we met, is that bar, like where we had been talking on Match and through texting. And then we finally met at that bar, and it was just like fireworks and explosions and all the good stuff. And so I went there the other night for open mic night, and just to be in that space and have like the MC talking about, okay, lesbians, blah, blah, blah. And all right, now who likes pussy, blah, blah, blah.
Oh my God,
it's
yeah.
like, right. It just like this, like, oh, this is a space. Like, this is where this is happening. And there's no questioning, why are you here? And there's no like, ulterior motive or weird, like, I'm just part of this. I put myself here. This is now where I belong. And it felt really comfortable and great.
That's
so
awesome.
To me, that was
because that is such a scary thing that I think a lot of people don't acknowledge, especially straight people, like how scary it is to go into those spaces for the first time, like realizing that you're gay or like questioning and entering those space. It does feel like, are they going to check me at the door and like quiz me?
Yeah.
Like, is there
right.
a test I need to take before I can be allowed to go in here? And if I get a question wrong, are they going to like boot me? Like, so
sometimes
the flip side of
I feel that way on Match sometimes, right? With all the acronyms.
Yeah, I mean, it does. It's an imposter syndrome. Like, you just kind of feel like I shouldn't be here.
I felt that for sure, but I also felt a sense of like, you were better at this than me, but where I would go to these places and feel like I don't belong here. Like it's not that they don't accept me. It's that I, in some ways, maybe wasn't accepting them. Like they felt to me scary.
It was your own homophobia.
Maybe homophobia, or maybe just a bar in general isn't where I belong.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm sitting there thinking, God, is this my life now? This smoky room, like this, people are getting drunk.
No, it's not your life now. You don't have to live there.
No, I know, but it's like that would never have been something.
They're not going to trap you. But we got one.
I remember being like fearful of like, as the night wore on, I would feel this sense of like, I don't know, like didn't feel like I belong. Like, I don't know. I can't explain it. It is.
Yeah. I know what you mean. I think it's any bar kind of feels a little
seedy,
like it's not
sometimes.
Like as an older, like I feel a little seedy.
Seedy.
Hanging out in a bar.
Yeah. Like
checking women out. Like,
right.
I can see that, but I feel like it's only seedy if you're one of the people at like 3 a.m. that's like still downing tequila shots and like refusing to leave.
But I remember like even my Catalyst, when we would go out, that's what we would do. And we would meet up with people. And like, I didn't like how that felt.
Yeah.
Like, by the end of the night, I was like, these people are too wild. They need to get
Allie
home.
needs to be home at 8 p.m. in bed, tucked in.
They would get like it would get wild to where I would get uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a nerd.
So
you are.
I realize I'm a total nerd.
I think this is totally, so I know you've talked about, what do you call it? First Friday, Second Friday?
Second Friday, yeah.
What's the Second Friday?
Yeah.
So a lot of that is around drinking, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, part of my work has been to stop trying to numb my pain and my needs with alcohol. Like I found this great app and I've been working on like cutting back, right? So you cut back alcohol. I also cut back. I'm not on antidepressants anymore. I'm trying to just be fully present. But that means it's hard because if everyone's all about drinking, if that's how you meet people, then that feels a little conflicted for me. Like I don't want it to be about drinking.
And that can be a hard part about like trying to meet people. And like, if you aren't drinking that much, like it's tough to walk into a space where everybody in there is drinking. I do know with our Second Friday though, I mean, there's plenty of people that come and don't drink at all. There's
I
options
drink. I
for
would
like
have a little drink.
Not, mocktails or whatever. So.
Yeah. I think what I realized is that I had to drink before to feel okay with my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I had to kind of numb things just to like keep up the facade.
That is
and
how
I don't
I
feel
survived.
like I have to anymore.
Yeah. Well, that's a huge win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot healthier.
Have you heard of the book This Naked Mind?
Mm-mm.
I would highly suggest reading that. It is really good about like kind of deconstructing like why we drink alcohol and like the mental part of it and how it kind of your brain starts to crave alcohol. It's a lot. There's also, I think it's Alcohol Explained. I'll have to look up that. I think Alan Carr.
I read the book called Sober Curious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then the app I found is a lot of what you're talking about. It's called Reframe.
Oh, okay.
I highly recommend it. I'm paying right now for your subscription because I like the 1 month I got so well. And it does a lot of that deep dive into how it affects your neurology and how it affects your behavior. And but also has like affirmations, and it has journaling, and it has like cravings last 20 minutes. So if you want to get over your craving, play this Tetris like game in order to like distract yourself.
Nice.
Yeah. And it has a built-in online community too. So you can like chat if you're like feeling bad about yourself or you want to drink, then you can chat with a community. So I highly recommend it. I thought it was great and I'm still using it.
What's the name of it again?
And even if it's called Reframe. Reframe for reducing, or it's for you can either be just cutting back or you can be trying to go completely sober. But I like how evidence-based it is. So for any other nerds out there.
Yeah. Well, then you would love This Naked Mind, because it definitely dives into that. And I think that's really important too. Like, I think a lot of people can probably relate to that, as far as like, we survived straight marriages because we were drinking a lot. You know, you're numbing yourself and those feelings to like survive being straight.
Or even just be present at the dinner party, because it's like you're not truly yourself. So it just feels good to have a buzz.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you have a parent who has alcoholism, which I do, then it's not a good road to be on.
Right.
You know, like for some people it's no biggie, but I was definitely seeing trends. That plus, you know, a pandemic when we're locked down and that's all there was to do was drink. So yeah, and it's great to like not drink. I love that the bar, this lesbian bar, has like a huge, like, what, you know, those big orange carafes that sports people use that they like dump on the coach after they win. Yeah. They have one of those just filled with water with plastic cups next to it all night.
Nice.
Oh wow!
So you don't have to go up to the bar and shout, "I want water."
You don't have to go to the bar.
Yeah.
But wait, do you drink? Like, if you go, like, if I went to that lesbian bar, I would have to have one drink.
I do, yeah. Okay, I mean, usually I get one drink and then I take my cup and I keep filling it with water. So I always have something in my hand.
Yeah.
For that nervous, like, I want to be holding a drink. Yeah. The other person I met gets herself a zero Heineken, like one of those alcohol-free Heineken. Okay. And I noticed that. That was part of why we started talking, was I was like, she's trying to do what I'm trying to do. Like, fit in.
There are some good, like, alcohol-free beers now, too. Really? Like, Budweiser makes one. I think it's Budweiser Zero. Okay. And then the Heineken. Yeah. They're all good.
Yeah.
And it kind of tricks your brain. Same thing with the cans of water, Liquid Death. Even though they're like extremely overpriced, there's something about like the weight of the can that makes you just feel like you've got like a tall boy. So.
A tall boy.
Yeah, a lot of it is the habit.
It's very similar to Miller Lite. It's so watered down.
The mocktail scene is actually really cool. I love the mocktail scene, and a lot of cities have that going on now. Yeah. And you can, like, you buy a mocktail and it looks like you have a cocktail.
Yeah. So. And they taste delicious.
Yeah. Yeah. And you don't feel sick after. Yeah. And you don't do things you wish you hadn't done.
Or have anxiety. Yeah. Even if I didn't do anything, like, I just get, the next day I'm more anxious.
It's a anxiety.
Yeah. It's a anxiety. Yeah. True.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this has been very fruitful.
Yes, I agree.
We covered a lot of ground. Yeah.
We appreciate you and your willingness to share your story of your messy middle, I guess we could say.
Sure. Allie needs to go on the dating show if she's ever in town for one of the 100%. Shows.
Yeah.
You'd be a good candidate.
Do what?
We have a dating show here for lesbians, or Melissa does, really.
Well, tonight we're doing speed dating at Second Friday. And we have like 50 people signed up to do it.
Gay speed dating.
But we do a dating game too. Yeah. Where it's just like the old fashioned like 70s dating game, where we've got like the date behind the screen and like the contestants answer questions and then the date picks someone. So it's fun. I mean, it's not like no one's getting married, but it's just a fun event.
I think speed dating's kick ass because it's no commitment. Like, you're going to talk to someone for you engage.
And let me brag a little bit about my idea that I had for speed dating, and that. Oh no, we're ringing. Sorry. Okay. So for this speed dating, we're gonna have people like kind of tell after 2 minutes, decide whether or not they want friendship or romantic. And so we were trying to think of some way to like do it without spending a lot of money on like pieces of paper and on printing stuff out. So we're gonna do like a rock, paper, scissors thing, but it's only scissors or paper. And scissors means you want a romantic relationship. Paper is friendship.
Wait a minute. You need 3.
No, well, we want to keep it cut and dry. It's either scissors or paper.
Right in my face. Hang on, I was half paying attention. Right then in my face.
Yeah, right then. I'm gonna go rock, paper, scissors, shoot, and it's either scissors or paper.
And meaning she doesn't like me?
You're both doing it at the same time. But it's not. You don't.
I want to make out. I don't want to date you forever.
But that's scissors still.
But then you need another
you're
option
not
that's
saying
like,
we're going to
I
get
like
married
you.
tomorrow, like, because you do scissors.
Scissors.
It's just
that's
there's a
scissor.
romantic interest.
Just
It could
do the
be
scissor.
it could be anywhere on the spectrum. It could be I want to
just-
kiss tonight, or I want to kiss next week, or
It
never.
feels so mean. Like I'm a very assertive, radical candor is my whole thing. But I don't know that I'm like, if I feel bad, like I would feel bad doing paper.
But it's fine. That's
What
speed
if
dating.
It's like hurts feelings.
It's speed dating. That's how you're going in. It's just the same as like swiping on someone. It's just in person.
Does anyone?
Yeah,
get-
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's a big difference. I hear you, Allie.
Well, we're going to have a
I
social experiment tonight. I'll tell you
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Okay, I can't wait.
I
to
might
hear
be
more
jumped in the
about it.
parking lot. I don't
Yeah,
know.
let me know how it goes. Jeez.
I don't know. It seems like you need a middle option.
We talked about having a middle option, but we also just wanted to kind of keep it cut and dry. But what would our middle option be? Let's hear.
Well,
I don't know.
Because right now it's like it's all or nothing, right? So it's like it is. That's what kind of mean. So you do the paper.
But
right?
paper's friendship. What's wrong with that?
Because it basically means in this couple of seconds, you're not attractive enough for me to want to be with you.
I mean, don't sign up if you're not willing to put yourself out there. Just saying.
Could they do it secretly?
I
so
think-
people don't see?
Well, everyone's going to be busy with their own
Yeah.
little like bra, and we don't have. It's a private event. We don't have spectators.
Okay.
So the people that are in there are the ones taking part in speed dating.
I guess it would be fun though. Think about this, Allie. If two people got up there and you're both going and you both did scissors, you'd be like, "Oh my god!"
And then you can do your scissors
Yeah.
together.
Oh, God, please don't see that immediately. I'm out. Like if somebody did that, I'm 100% out. I can't unsee
I would
that.
be dying laughing.
I can't unsee that.
I can't wait to see someone do that.
When they
tonight.
do that, they're dead to me.
I'm gonna die laughing.
What if you do it with like you have like tokens, right?
But see that
like,
we gotta
different
get
color-
tokens.
It's very low budget,
But that's
Allie.
easy. It's easy.
Is
They're
it
like
easy in
cheap,
the next
like-
3 hours for me to get tokens?
but then people can like slide the token, and then like somehow there's like a third party you're sliding it to, and then you find out later.
No matter
who you
what, you're
matched
getting the bad
the same
news.
token with. Yeah, but not right in front of the person's
I
feet.
like it. Here's how I would do it. Here's what would get me to do it. If you had a piece of paper that with the list of everyone I'm meeting, and I could check yes or no after they walk away, and then at the end of the night, I turn
Right.
in all my paper, everyone turns in their paper,
Right.
and if I get
Okay,
lucky,
but can I
somebody
ask you
calls me and
this? Are you
says,
going to sit
"She
there
wanted
at the
me
end of the
too."
night and go through 50 different people's things to see who matched?
Yeah.
You're going to do that.
Because if I'm running the show,
No,
yeah.
no one's paying me to do this.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Like,
There's got to be a way to automate this with technology. Like
I'm
there's
sure
got to be a
there
way
is.
to.
We do have a QR code that we've encouraged people to create their own QR code so that will streamline the exchange of information. You just scan and get the person's Instagram real fast and move along.
I do like Instagram as a means for meeting people.
I do too. Well, yeah, you like the DM slide.
Well, I mean, I was just in general, like I think it just tells you everything about somebody. If you look through their stuff, you can see what they're into.
Yeah. Well, speaking of which, our friend Ari, I just learned has made a friend through being on the podcast
She has.
and moving out to Arizona. Yes.
They're getting together this weekend.
Wait, we might be talking about two different people.
No, we're not. Or maybe it's next week.
It's a friend thing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Okay.
That's cool though. So there you go.
Yeah.
It works when you slide into people's DMs. This is just a friendship, but it's a thing.
Allie, we'll
Yeah.
be your wingman.
Yeah. You come down here.
That's what I need. I don't have a wingman. I have good friends though that are willing to like go to gay bars with me, but I don't have wingman.
I won't make you do rock, paper, scissors.
No, nobody's
Okay,
doing rock,
thank you.
paper, scissors. Come on.
I'm so stoked about this. You don't even know.
Yeah. Well, the people have to know what they're getting in for, and if they sign up, you're right. That's on them.
I'm just trying to streamline the process of
What
meeting
happens
people.
though if at the end of the night they had all papers?
Well, then we need to work on some things.
Maybe we need to work on their, I guess, yeah.
They might need to. Maybe I need to start a dating coach situation,
Yeah.
and I can coach them on how to speak to people.
Did you ever see Love on the Spectrum?
Yes.
I always thought the lady who has the job of like teaching the people on the spectrum how to date was like the coolest job ever.
Yeah. Well, there's also, God, what's the show? Married at First Sight, where they actually do have like a psychologist on the show, but her name's Dr. Pepper.
Oh, God.
And no one makes a joke about it, and I'm so pissed. I'm like, we need to acknowledge that she's named Dr. Pepper. Like, someone needs to laugh about it, and it's never happened. We just skip over it.
Well, I want to conclude that I'm having my own Second Friday tonight. I'm running my own personal one.
There we go.
Bravo.
Here, yeah. So as a come say goodbye to me after my 4 weeks here party, I'm inviting all the people that I knew before that were my community, but also that I've met here. So I'm gonna introduce communities to each other.
Oh, very cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So they're gonna come to my Airbnb, and then we're gonna go out.
Good for you.
And then hopefully end up at the lesbian bar at the end of the night.
That's perfect.
So,
all right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We appreciate your time.
Yep.
Very much.
And your honesty and all that stuff. So
we'll talk again 3 months, and it'll be even better.
For sure.
I like it.
I want to hear, well, maybe you can update us on how your Second Friday, if something really good happens, tell us.
Yeah.
DM you.
DM us. Exactly.
Am I sliding you a DM?
Slide into the DMs.
All right. I'll send an emoji that represents what happens.
Oh, good. Okay. And then we'll try to guess what you mean.
Right.
Okay.
I'll try to be hip.
Yep.
Hip and cool, like
do it.
Like my 17-year-old daughter. I'll have to ask her for advice. No, that would be too weird. Never mind.
Oh God.
It's terrible.
All right.
All right. Thank you,
Have
Allie.
a good one.
All right, later, Allie.
Bye.
Want to support the Lesbian Chronicles podcast? Rate us and write a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify.
We love listener feedback. If you'd like to share your story, email us at melissaandallie@gmail.com. That's Melissa, MELISA, and Allie, ALLI, @gmail.com. Or follow us on Instagram at Lesbian Chronicles.